So we're catching up with David here from Frontier Developments at GDC. You know, fresh off of unleashing Elite Dangerous on the world, making a couple of big announcements here at GDC. Tell us a little bit for the state of Elite Dangerous right now.
I think it's in a great state. We released a good game and we're making it better and better. We released community challenges back in February, and yesterday we released the Wings beta, which is the co-op play where you see your other players' ships on the dashboard and things like that. And we've also announced today that the next update, which will also be free for PC, is called Power Play. That will be coming soon. And we're very excited about that. All that content will also be on Xbox. The other thing we've announced today, with Microsoft, we announced that Elite Dangerous is coming to Xbox One this calendar year. So we're extremely excited about that as well.
I gotta imagine that to me it sounds like a challenge to bring Elite Dangerous onto a platform like Xbox One that's a little bit more locked down. Has it been that? What has it been easy, or what, has it been a challenge to bring it onto there?
Yes, always doing something great is always a challenge. But having said that, you know, the great thing about Xbox is, or any console, is the console that's in front of us is the same as the console that's in front of you. So if we can have a great experience, then so can you. Whereas the PC is actually a bigger challenge because you've got all the different GPUs, all the different CPU setups, different memory sizes, different memory speed, different resolutions on the screen. You know, all of those things can mean that one PC has a different set of bottlenecks to another PC. All the audio solutions are different as well. You know, actually, very few PCs are alike. You know, so that's a big challenge.
But I mean, one of the challenges, though, has to be because a hardcore Elite player wants to sit there with the stick, perhaps even having Oculus on, wants to have that sort of simulation feeling. Obviously, you're a little bit more limited in terms of hardware options for the Xbox players. You have to really make the game fit on controller and with perhaps. Are you planning any Kinect functionality or?
Sure. I mean, don't forget we've supported console controllers from day one because actually they work very well with the PC, and I play a lot on an Xbox controller. So I think that already works. We're happy with that. So that's less of an issue. And also, don't forget, we've done lots of other games, and we were a launch title with Zoo Tycoon on Xbox One, and we've recently finished Scream Ride, which means we've got people with a lot of direct experience of Xbox One. Plus the fact it's the same engine, the same tools on Xbox One already for those two games. And so it seems it's logical for us. You know, we've got people available now who've had a lot of direct experience getting a game to work well on Xbox One.
Are you looking at any sort of cross functionality with this game? I know Microsoft have been talking a lot about Xbox One and Windows 10.
Sure. Well, the first thing is it's set in the same galaxy. All the events, the game won't be dumbed down at all. It'll be the full game. But you know, we've been doing daily updates for our story with PC. Those will all come to Xbox as well. The same daily updates, the same changes to the galaxy. We will see if Xbox players are discovering star systems, the PC players will see those discoveries, and vice versa. So I think it's extremely exciting.
Yeah, I got to ask as well, are you looking into the HoloLens that Microsoft talked a little bit about earlier? Is that something, because it's something that I could see having an application in a game like Elite Dangerous?
Sure. I mean, one of the things we designed the game to support head-mounted displays anyway from the start, and very soon we added Oculus Rift for popular demand, both inside our team and because people who'd seen it, the alpha backers, wanted it. So we added it, and a lot of players played. Nearly 10% of those alpha backers played on Oculus Rift. But the head-mounted displays all work in a very similar way. So obviously, as more come on the market, we will look at supporting them. And you know, HoloLens we will also look at.
And the same goes for Vive and OS VR, and you know, it seems like there's so many different VR solutions out there these days.
Sure, in a few more weeks there'll be more. But that's
good time.
Great.
And but you touched on the sort of the short-term future of Elite. What's the long-term future? What are you sort of your long roadmap ahead?
Well, I'm very excited. I've said over it for a long time. Very excited about some features that we will do down the road. You know, including things like landing on planets, walking around inside your spaceship, getting out of your spaceship. All of those things I think are very, very exciting. and obviously those are in the long-term roadmap. And I think as we widen the audience, we're bringing the game now to Mac, which we have here, the first time we're showing it here at GDC, obviously to Xbox One as well. We got more and more players coming to the game. That actually helps us. It's sort of like a snowball effect. We can then do more with the game as well. You see more and more features. And as we bring over time, all these updates we've brought so far are free, and there will be more, but there will also be paid updates offering major new features, like some of the things I've just mentioned.
Yeah, and I guess that's something of a shift, a paradigm shift in consoles, that they're actually allowing for this sort of approach, where you build out the game, where you iterate on it, and it's something that we didn't really see last generation on either PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360.
Well, I think it's great, and one of the things that have enabled it is these consoles now have storage, in terms of the way they work and online updates and all this sort of thing. And I think that's very, very good for us, because it means we can do this. The previous generation, not only were the machines less capable, but a lot of them didn't have very much local storage or hard drives, that's what enables the sort of thing we're doing.
So, can you tell us a little bit about how sort of Elite Dangerous has changed Frontier Developments, and how the studio is set up today, and sort of where you want to take the studio as a whole towards the future?
Well, it's quite funny. I mean, I've been a developer for a long, long time now, working with publishers. So this is the first big game we've published on our own ticket. And so all of those things that I might have privately criticized publishers for, we're now doing. It's quite funny. But hopefully we're doing them better. I'm excited about what we're doing, because it gives us a lot of freedom. We mentioned supporting Oculus Rift right at the start. That would be much harder with a publisher, because we'd have to make a business case for it, and we'd have to say, and it would end up being pushed out into the future.
You don't see a lot of AAA sort of publisher-financed games on Oculus, for instance.
For the reason that I'm saying, I think. They think, well, it's not released yet, it's a developer piece of kit, it's quite hard to get working, which is true, but it's great. And that's the other side, which people aren't seeing. I mean, the great thing is we're still independent, so we can do what we like, as long as it's sensible. That's exciting, it's great fun.
Obviously you are then part of that sort of forefront that have been sort of pushing for VR and helping VR get a larger audience by supporting it. So what does that make you feel today, when it's sort of like, it feels like now we're finally getting very close to that sort of official big commercial launch of these projects that have been kicking for a long time?
Yeah, I think this will be the sort of year VR starts to come of age. I mean, it's although you wouldn't know it, there still isn't a released VR headset yet. Oculus is still a developer piece of kit. People are starting to give dates though, and I think that some are saying they're this year, like Valve's one. And that's exciting. That's great. And to be honest, to me it matters less which one wins, but they keep each other honest. They make it better. To me, I feel a lot of the current ones that could do with a bit more resolution. You can see the pixels quite a lot, even in DK2. But that's not to say it's not great. It's just there's scope for it to get a lot better, and we can support it getting better.
Have you tried the Vive one? Because the resolution on that one is just crazy. 2 screens with 1920, 1080.
I think with those things it's all exciting, and as it gets better and better, and my gut feel is it needs to be around 4K per eye.
So you know where to aim for, developers of VR headsets then. But I gotta say, for a game like Elite Dangerous, sort of it's not that distraction if there is 1 or 2 pixels in there that you sort of I mean, it's worse in some other games. I think Elite Dangerous is a game that lends itself very well to the technology already today.
Absolutely. Well, we've had a lot of learning now, because we've been supporting Oculus for a long time, about how not to make people feel sick, all of that sort of thing, how to make it feel very natural. And the way the interfaces light up as you look at them feels really natural, and you just think, oh yes, that's how it always should be. But we put a lot of thought into making it that way, and I think that's what's exciting. I love working with new technology and how it makes the games better.
Very exciting time. So, but what would you say for what does it mean now to have the product live, for Frontier to sort of be live out there and sort of push the product along, and What has it meant?
It's been great. It's also a great responsibility, making sure people are happy with what we're doing. But it also enables us to make it better. You can see where things saying, oh, well, we could have made that better, but we can. This is what the updates are doing, community updates. We didn't think there was enough community-type interactions in the game. Wings, released yesterday, that's addressing things, making whole elements of the game better. And the game is just getting better and better. So I think the ability to do that's been fantastic. That's been really great. And it changes the way we think about things.
Finally, we're not doing an interview talking about when we'll see the next Elite. It's out there already. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.